Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm glad you're here today. I've got some fun things that I want to share with you. Um, these are little junk journal embellishments that I've been making, and this is made out of an oval punch, a scalloped oval 3-inch, I'm pretty sure, punch. And I just put a few layers together. Let's see, I've got 4 or 5 layers here, and I attached them with a brad. And then I did make little reinforcements just in case. And then I just added some frou-frou on the front. So the idea is to glue the back page to your journal page. Glue the back. And then you can put something there and you can lift it up. You can see I've put a scripture in here and you can lift that up. And then there's another scripture there and you can lift that up. And then there's just a little picture in the back. And then if you wanted to, you could glue just, say that much of the back page to your journal page, and you could actually have a pocket behind all of that. So you've got all these pages plus a pocket if you want it to be. On this one, I did the same thing. I put Psalms 92:1 on the first page, and then there's the Psalm on the second page, and the third page just has these silhouetted birds as if they're singing praises to the Lord. This one has Romans 11:33. I just put my gold letters there. And same thing. There's the scripture, Romans 11:33, and just a pretty little vintage picture. And there's another part of a scripture. So these are so much fun. You can do anything you want to. You could put pictures in there. And then I made these little guys for Christmas embellishments. Now this is a 2.5-inch circle punched, and I put 2 layers together. On the top layer, I took a 1-inch circle punch, if you can see that right there, and I punched a hole out. Then I took the holes that I punched and cut them in half to make a tab. So here's what happens. You glue this down, the back page down to your journal page. You take your little tab and you can read, "Joy to the world, the Lord is come." Then you take your little tab and you turn it, and on the other side it says, "Let earth receive its king." And you could put a picture there and there too if you wanted to. You don't have to. So let's see, this one says, "And heaven and nature sing, let every heart rejoice." And there's the prepare him room. And so they just spin. This one says, "Trust in the Lord and do good." You turn it around and it says, "Commit your way to the Lord. Delight yourself in the Lord." Turn it around and he will give you the desires of your heart. That's one of my favorite scriptures. And again, you could glue this down to your page, just, the bottom half of the circle, glue it down, and then you could still have a pocket back there behind it. Here's another one I did in oval, and I just put this dimensional butterfly, and there's a beautiful vintage lady there. This page has, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." And then down here, I don't know if you can see it, it's very, very tiny, but I took a dictionary and I cut out shepherd, the one who tends the sheep. It's real tiny. And then on the very back page, I put a book page miniature envelope that I made, and it's got a little bitty card down in there. How cute is that? Y'all know me and my miniature stuff. I like it. And then I made this little bitty tab thing so that the envelope would stay closed, so I could close it like that. So that's one thing that I want to show you. And then I made a couple of just tags. I was playing with this double-sided cardstock, and I used some, these are genuine vintage stamps that I came across. "The road to a friend's house is never long." This one says, "Freedom. The sweetest freedom is an honest heart." And it was a quote that I had found. And then I did some stenciling on the back with inks, where you lay the stencil down over your paper and take your ink dauber and just daub some ink on there just to give it some design. But I could still journal on the back here. This is a little paper clip of a sort, if you will, a homemade paper clip. There's no real paper clip in there. It's nothing but two circles. So there's a 2-inch circle, and there's I'm going to say that's a 1.5, I believe. And they're put together with a brad, and I did the brad really tight. And what you do is you just kind of hook it over the top of a journal page, just like that. It just clips on anywhere you want it to clip. And because I got that brad in there tight, it actually stays pretty good. Now these guys are just some pockets that I made. I wanted to show you, just very, very simple. This is a punch. This is a paper punch. So this is 2 pieces, and I just glued them together right here on the very edges, but they're not glued in the middle. So see, you could have that, you could glue this down to your page here and here. You would have a pocket behind it, and you would have a pocket right here. This is just one of those punches with a half of one down here. So then that becomes a little pocket right there. Same thing here, except for I just cut a little divot there to get your stuff in. So they're just little pockets in a pocket, just little ideas for you. This is a little shaker, a little vintage shaker tag that I made that I thought it was so cute. And it's done with the fuse tool, which I'm not real happy with. Sometimes it seals good and sometimes it doesn't. So what I've been doing lately is just stitching my shakers. But I've got seed beads and bugle beads and star sequins in there and my little vintage girl on the back. Now, oh, I can't wait to show you this. These are laminated sheets. Let me show you what I bought. I got this off of Amazon. Peel and stick. It's only sticky on one side, and you peel the backing off, lay your stuff down, and then take another piece and put it on top. But like I said, these came off of Amazon. I don't remember what I paid for it, but there are 100 sheets in here, and I have been having so much fun with these. So here's one of the Tim Holtz paper dolls, and I just put a jump ring and some beads and a little vintage, I have no idea because I can't read it. I think it's in French. A little vintage something. It's kind of like an apothecary label, is just dangling from her. This is one I made with they were actually weeds, some beautiful purple flowers that I found outside, and the petals kind of dried up. But I thought that was so cute. I loved the little dangling part at the bottom. And let's see, this is just some of the vintage ephemera pieces that I have. And this was a vintage perfume thing from the Tim Holtz collection. So I cut out perfume down here and wrote and put the definition of it on there. And then this one, little piece there, has a scripture on it. And these are some leaves that I picked up on our recent camping trip that we went on. It says, "Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be satisfied." And they're little tiny, beautiful leaves. These flowers came from the Gulf State Park, which was also a camping trip. And you see how I put my jump rings on here, and I just added beads on the jump rings just to frou-frou it up a little more. This one I decided to make a side dangle. I thought that would be cute with a little fox dangling. And the definition, these yellowed looking definitions are from a very, very old dictionary that I came across, a little tiny pocket dictionary. And so old the pages are falling apart. So I've got the definition to tree as if that was a tree, which it's really not. It's a weed. This one said, "Every road should have a path." Just some pretty things with dangles. Let's see. There's another scripture and some more of those beautiful flowers that I got from the Gulf State Park. Now this one's just a little vintage ticket, and I put a brad in it, but if I decide to attach it to a page, I'll probably punch a hole in the page and put that brad through the page. This is one of my faves. I love the way this came out. And it was just a weed that I picked up in the grass, and it flattened so beautifully. And then I've got from my dictionary the word green and the definition. Now this one, I took some red and yellow leaves that were dry and crunchy, and I crushed them. I peeled the sticky side off of one side of this laminating sheet, and I crushed the leaves and just sprinkled them all along on there. And then I added, it's a song, all glory, laud, and honor to thee, Redeemer King, to whom the lips of children make sweet hosannas ring. I thought that was beautiful, but it's actually from a hymn book. It's the reason the words are written like that. And look at this girl. She is sitting beside another little piece of a weed, and the word I put at the bottom says innocence, freedom from guilt. Isn't she precious? More leaves I picked up from the campground where we recently camped. Now this one I added a beaded dangle. And since we were camping and I was making these at the campground, I didn't have all my supplies, so I didn't have any head pins for my dangle, but I decided to just twirl the end. I thought, well, what's wrong with that? We don't have to have a head pin. I could just twirl the end to hold my beads on, and it worked really good. Here's another little flower with a vintage dictionary page. Here is another use for my journal pins. I've made so many of these, guys, and I'm loving these. So all I did was punch 2 holes in this card. I hope you can see that. I punched 2 holes in there and just added a pin to it. Here's another beautiful. I didn't know these guys would retain their color, but these yellow ones are coming out really pretty. Now on this one, I used a miniature yellow leaf, 3 miniature red leaves, and a little bit of bark from the campground. Cute, huh? This one says courage. This is a butterfly. It says praise, and it's got the definition of praise. And this is one of those vintage milk caps. So I've got dairy for selling milk and butter. It's got a little definition there. Now this is just a little bitty one. I decided to try to do some small ones too. And it's got a scripture on it. And then I punched 2 holes and just tied a ribbon there. That worked out really good. This one says dance. Isn't that cute? I love it. I love it. On this side it says dandelion. Ha ha ha. Let's see. This one says there's a song in the air, and I've got the definition of song down here. This one says treasure from that antique book. There's another scripture. There's another song. Love the way these came out. These are so much fun, 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 fun. Now look at this. This is a quote that I found. A fox should not be on the jewelry at a goose's trial, by Thomas Fuller. Well, I had the little fox, and I love these little foxes. I don't know why they're so cute. And so I thought, well, you know what? I am going to glue this down on a page, and this can be a flip up, and then you can journal up underneath it. Here's some vintage people. Says, be brave. And this one says the traveler. And I did some more dangles with the jump rings and the beads. And let's see. Oh, yeah, this is something different. Heaven and earth are praising thee, O Lord Most High. So these are parts of the hymn book again. I used red, green, and yellow leaves this time. So I added 3 dangles in those 3 colors. And that'll look so cute on a page. And this one is the plant. Behind there is a piece of rosemary, the part of the mint family, a spice, rosemary. I'm not crazy about it as far as eating it, but I have the definition to rosemary, a fragrant, shrubby mint. Leaves are used as a seasoning. And I just hung that with a bulb pin and added some beads to it, so I'm letting it dangle. And then one more little bitty one. At thy right hand are pleasures forevermore. So anyway, yes, I've made a bunch of these lately, but they're so much fun. And I encourage you to get you some laminating sheets. You can even get them at Dollar Tree. You'd get a better deal if you get the big pack from Amazon like this. But anywho, give it a try. It is fun. Try these little guys. You can make as many layers, many pages in there and do anything in the world. Try out the little spinners. They're so much fun. I love interactive pages. Anyway, guys, have a wonderful day, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.